Well, in the old days, they used to come to our show in the old flatbed wagons with the cane-bottom chair in there and a shoebox with chicken in it. But now they come up on the grinder switch bus. Well, that is, this next young lady did. Here she is, Cousin Minnie Pearl.
Well, so this here's Cousin Minnie Pearl, and I'm just so proud to be here. Well, so the most exciting thing happened to me tonight while I was on the way down here at the Grand Ole Opry. Oh, there was a feller. Oh, he was just walking right behind me. Well, I don't know whether he's following me or not. We was all walking too fast. But all of a sudden, I just turned around and I said to him, I said, "What's the matter with you?" And he said, "Well, what's the matter with you?" I said, "Well, didn't you kind of give me a funny look?" He said, "Lady, you've got a funny look, but I didn't give it to you." You know, I think somebody's trying to tell me something. You know, the last time I had a picture took, I said to the photographer, "I don't think this picture does me justice." He said, "Lady, you don't need justice, you need mercy." But I had so much to tell you about the news at Grinder Switch. You know, that's where I live at. Well, there's just always something going on there. You know, they don't read the newspaper at Grinder Switch to find out who's doing what. They know that already. They just read the newspaper to find out if they got caught in it. But Miss Lizzie Tinker, she has done went and got her face lifted again. Ooh, that poor old lady. She's had her face lifted so many times. Now, every time she blinks her eyes, she pulls her stockings up. Oh, it's just pitiful. And then Miss Orson Tugwell's little old young'un. You know, Miss Orson Tugwell's that nice lady that Grinder Switch has had 16 young'uns. She's had 16. And one of her little young'uns, he's all the time coming over there at the house. Oh, he said some of the worst things I ever heard tell. He's bad. Boy, if you was to throw him in the river, he'd float upstream. Mammy said to him the other day, she said, "Now, Herkimer," that there's his name. They done about run out of names. She said, "Now, Herkimer, don't you use them ugly words. Why, every time you use a word like that, it just makes cold chills run up and down my spine." And that little old bad young'un looked up at Mammy and said, "It's a good thing you wasn't over at the house yesterday when Pappy hit his thumb with a hammer. You'd have froze to death." He's the one that's supposed to have his tonsils took out, but you know they can't get him to go over to the hospital. He said, "I ain't going over at that old hospital. They'll palm some little old young'un off on me like they do Mammy every time she goes over." Well, said though, I wanted to bring my brother tonight, bless his soul, every time I take him somewhere, though we get in trouble. You know, the first time, I never will forget it, the first time, long time ago, first time I ever took brother to town, all the fellas run from me. One fella pointed his finger at brother and said, "What's the matter with that old boy? He's got the smallpox? He's got spots all over his face." I said, "No. Brother ain't got the smallpox. We just been trying to learn him to eat with a fork." But you know what? Brother has got the biggest feet. I was just looking at his feet the other night when he undressed to get ready to go to bed. He's got the biggest feet every one of us has. If you take off our shoes, we're half undressed. But I gotta go now. I tell you right now, I found something that's real interesting down there at that department store where I was at. I went in there and they had this cologne, see, at the perfume counter, and they had some, oh my, I never seen the like of titles they've got on them perfume bottles. Oh, they got Desire and One Night of Love and Passion Flower. I never seen nothing like the titles they got. I said to the young lady behind the counter, I said, "Ain't you got nothing for beginners?" But I got me some cologne. Oh, and you know what? I've got to leave right now and go because I've got a date. And they told me that this cologne I've got, you put a little drop under your left ear and a feller will just grab a hold of you. And you put a little drop under each ear and that feller will just grab a hold of you and just hug you and kiss you. Ooh, I'm just going and just pour the whole bottle on and wait for the stampede.
Ah, that girl, she's a caution. I'll tell you, we always have fun on Saturday night when Minnie comes around, or any time that Minnie comes around.